Hi, everybody. Welcome to Zoologist Network. We are 6 episodes away from the 100th episode.
Woo! Get it, baby. That's my baby right there.
Yes. I can't believe it either. But so today we're going to be doing 3 episodes. Animals of the past today, animals of the present tomorrow, and animals of the future the day after tomorrow. And I'm very excited. All leading up to the 100th episode celebration, which will take place somewhere special. Let's get started. There were a lot of animals that existed in the past. But the only animals we're talking about are 2 specific kinds. The ones from the dinosaurs, the dinosaur ones, and one from the popular movie Ice Age. These Ice Age animals are representing real animals and real events that actually happened in the real world. Let's start with the first animal, one of my favorite animals, the Sabertooth Cat, also known as Smilodon fatalis, also known as Sabertooth Tiger, also known as Diego from Ice Age. Diego is a saber-toothed cat. It's wrongfully called that. It's called the saber-toothed tiger because it's not a tiger. It's a cat. That's what, and they were 12 feet long. Those teeth were 12 feet long. And were really weak biters. And ate ground sloths. Here is a skeleton of the saber-toothed cat. So another well-known animal from the Ice Age is Manny, the woolly mammoth. It was the largest land animal because it was just the size of the African elephant. Now, it wasn't the only animal that was woolly. There was a woolly rhinoceros too. And descendants of rhino that we'll be speaking about. We're not going to talk about the woolly rhinoceros, but we are going to talk about the Paraceratherium, which we're going to talk about after the ground sloth. Now you could tell their age judging by their tusks. So if they're really long, that means they're old. So depending on the how long they are too. So Manny from Ice Age must be pretty old.
My whole familia. I knew it deep down. I knew I wasn't abandoned.
Oh, that's incorrect. We totally abandoned you.
But we always missed you. Right?
Yeah. And we just knew Sid would want to see his poor dear granny before her time is up.
Ah, Barry.
Everybody loves Sid the Sloth, including me. But did you know that Sid the Sloth is actually a sloth? Sloths were really that size. Were really big, the size of an elephant. Especially the one he is, the Megalonyx. This is a Megalonyx. As you can tell, it looks more like a bear. It grew to 9.8 feet and weighed up to 2,205 pounds, according to the San Diego Zoo. Just like the two-toed sloth, they were herbivores. They lived in South America and migrated to North America, according to the San Diego Natural History Museum. You may have heard of a glyptodon. You may have not. Well, I'm here to tell you that a glyptodon is basically an Ice Age version of armadillo, as seen in the second one. It was the size of a Volkswagen. That's how big armadillos were before they shrink to our size, after that land bridge was built. This is a glyptodon. A glyptodon, as you can see, it looks like an armadillo, but bigger. This guy was the size of a Volkswagen. A Volkswagen Beetle, that is. In evolution, they have grown smaller until they've become what you can see with armadillos today. Before rhinos were rhinos, there was the Paraceratherium. The Paraceratherium was actually a rhino with a long neck, and it's basically like a giraffe and a rhino. I will show you this picture. Let's talk about dung beetles. Now, before I go on, beetles are not bugs. They are insects. Every insect is not a bug. Insects have 6 legs. And insects have been on this earth longer than the Ice Age. Here's why it's called a dung beetle. In this video, the dung beetle is rolling the elephant poop. It does this to lay eggs, and then it'll eat the poop. They call this a brood ball. That's why it's called a dung beetle. A Walmart camel. That's right, I said a Walmart camel. There is actually such thing. It's really called the camelops, and is a distant relative of both camels, the dromedary camel and the Bactrian camel. Remember, Bactrian camel, 2 humps. Dromedary, 1. We saw a dromedary camel at the Louisville Zoo. Now, the reason why it's called a Walmart camel, because in 2007, it was found at where they were building a Walmart. So we have the horse. Yes, a horse was alive during the Ice Age, although not depicted really in the movie. Horses were introduced to Americans before horses were introduced. What I mean by that is, horses were actually there before Native Americans were introduced to them. But thanks to Africa and Eurasia, that's why we still have horses. Horses were almost extinct because of this. And they were hunted. So we can thank Africa and Eurasia for having horses still around. There's also the dodo bird. Although it didn't live in the Ice Age, it was featured in the Ice Age movie. But since they are extinct, we're gonna have to talk about them. Now, dodo birds lived 500 miles from Madagascar, like in the Africa area, Indian Ocean. You know where that is. And there's also that dodo birds related to pigeons. Just because they're related to pigeons did not mean they would fly. They were just groundless birds. Because there are pigeons that can't fly. Not the carrier pigeon, but there are some pigeons that can't fly. Go to your local zoo and you'll find go to your local zoo's aviary and you'll find a lot. A lot of pigeons that can't fly. The next animal we're going to talk about is the thylacine, also known as the Tasmanian tiger. This is a thylacine, also known as the Tasmanian tiger. This did not belong to the cat family, but it was a marsupial. A marsupial is a mammal that gives birth through a pouch, just like a kangaroo. That right there, when it's yawning, it is threatening its enemies to back off. This footage was shot at the Hobart Zoo in 1932 when the last Tasmanian tigers roamed this earth, and it lived in Australia, as the name suggests. You guys know what to do, so I'm not going to say it. But what I am going to say is that I have a special announcement, and it's that Labor Day weekend, I will be in New Orleans. That's good news, right? Yeah. You can catch me at the Audubon Zoo, the Aquarium of the Americas, and for our 100th episode, I will be doing a swamp tour through Louisiana. And I will be taking you along for the ride. So don't miss it, no. Remember that passion is a gateway to success, and always follow your dreams. And don't let people discourage you, no. See you next time.